Welcome to SGN, Signature Global Network, the Global Logistics Network. At Signature Global Network, we bring together a diverse community of logistics companies from around the world, facilitating collaboration, partnership, and mutual growth. If you are a like-minded individual or logistics company, we look forward to welcoming you to the Signature Global Network family and embarking on a journey of mutual success.
Hi Gerald, welcome again. Good to see you. It's been a long time since our last physical meeting, right?
Yeah, been a long time. Maybe almost 6 months, maybe.
Wow, time flies. You been well?
I've been well. Things have been very busy for JGL this year. So I've been very busy. The whole team has been very busy, but maybe that's why time flies faster because we don't really notice.
Yeah.
They're looking good.
Thank you. So I really want to say, first of all, congratulations for JGL's achievement and also your performance in that company, because I've been seeing so much achievement from your team everywhere. And actually the JGL's brand is actually quite well known nowadays as well. And yes, congratulations for that. And as you mentioned, you are busy. That means you are productive and fruitful. So well done. So first of all, I say hi to the audience here. I wanted you to briefly introduce yourself and your experience in the logistics industry. Thank you, Gerard.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Gerard Goh. For those who don't know me yet, I am from Singapore. I work for JGL Worldwide, who has our own offices around Southeast Asia. We are in Singapore, which is the HQ. We are also having our own offices in Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Myanmar. We try to connect Asia to the world. That's what we do. My role in the company on top of networks is also to handle project shipments. Since COVID ended, and things start to resemble something back to normal, project shipments has been picked up. So like Christy mentioned earlier, it's been a busy 2023 for me so far. I'm happy to be here to have this chance for this interview. Thank you to SGN. Thank you to Christy. And hopefully I don't give all the wrong answers and the wrong advice to everybody.
Thank you.
A little bit about myself. I've been in this industry 23 years. 23 years. It's been a long time. Don't be fooled by my boyish good looks. It's been a long time. I've been in the industry a long time. I've been doing networks since 2009. Yeah, 2009. So just a little bit about my background.
Thank you so much, guys. As you are aware that Gerald is a very authentic leader and a role model himself, because he's always quite funny, because he's always telling the truth. And that is why the whole thing about this interview, we are really embracing the transparency and the honesty. And it's really about your personal opinions. However, your experience, like you mentioned, 23 years, it's amazing. I mean, many people, how many 23 years do we have? Right? If we're lucky, 3 times, 4 times, not 4 times, right? So I really appreciate.
It's quite difficult, but yeah.
Will be the longest, who can live the longest and break the record, I would say. So thank you so much, Gerald, for making your precious time. As I know that you're always traveling and you're so busy, but you're still willing to make time for our network and this interview as well. Truly, truly appreciate it. Now the next question I have.
It's an honor.
Thank you. Now the next question I have here for you is, what do you see as the biggest challenges currently facing in the logistic industry, like the global logistics industry?
At this moment in time, I would say the circumstances in the economies around the world outside of logistics. In the entire supply chain chart, logistics, no matter how, we will get affected by things that happen out of control. The invasion of Ukraine and stuff like that. Natural disasters. I think things like that will play a big part as logistics comes out of COVID. I think during COVID, logistics has generally done very well. For those that did not do very well, then the train has left the station. But, coming back to reality now, we are going back to, we are not there yet, but we are going back to where it was 21.5 to maybe 21.8, 21.9. We just have to find a way to be innovative, to sustain one another, to survive this current economic situation around the world.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Gerard. So to conclude your answer regarding the biggest challenging right now, currently the logistic folks and people in this industry are facing is definitely their uncontrollable environment, which is economy, and these disasters and things like that. However, I can tell.
Now more than ever.
Yeah. However, I can tell that everything else is actually on track because people learn a lot from the COVID lockdown, everything. And actually, when there was problems, there were so much opportunities, and which is why I think people are quite calm because they actually have the experience to experience this up and down moments, right? So yeah, but I can also say, just from my point of view, Gerard, is I saw the rates are going back up again, so it looks a little bit more positive at the moment. So you never know, time just flies and things just go up and down all the time. So get ready for the opportunities, I would say, right? Thank you so much. So the next question I have for you is, how has technology impacted the logistics industry, and what trends do you foresee in the coming years?
I think everybody will agree with me. More than ever right now, technology is either already or becoming a very critical part and future of the logistics industry. We ourselves already are embracing this and coming up with new technology, new software that will further enhance the customer experience, customer benefit of having such a technology on your fingertips.
Yeah.
It could be through an app, it could be through the website, it could be both. I think even networks now are starting to have apps, so why not a forwarder? To be honest, my humble opinion is technology will become the future. It hasn't already been for some of us. Something we just have to embrace and get prepared to go into. Otherwise, 5 years, 8 years from now, we'll be left behind. That's for sure.
Very true. Thank you, Gerard. And I completely agree with you as well, especially with AI, which is really popular nowadays. And AI's, IQ is actually probably, I don't know, it's better than mine, maybe.
There's just different how you embrace this. For example, AI. Some people may be terrified of it and try not to go into it, or think that there's no reason to come into the business. But I think in this day and age, just have to embrace it.
That's
Gone are
right.
the days of texts and group emails. You just have to embrace it. Otherwise, you lose your competitive edge and you get left behind.
That's right.
For sure.
I completely agree with you, Gerard, and that is also why SGN has been doing lots of social marketing and all this, technology stuff. And we know that there's so much tools outside there that we can use to help everyone to grow their business and to, just to make their life easier, because our life is too much things that we need to take care of. And there's, especially like you said, we are in the best time ever. We have everything we need. We have technology, we have the best scientists and everything. However, it makes us actually less capacity because there are too much things in our mind. Without the technology, we cannot go very far. But with them, with them we'll go much further. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So next question I have for you here is, in your opinion, what are the key factors that differentiate a successful logistic networks from others?
Good question. Coming back to what I said when I introduced myself, I've been doing networks as far as I can remember since 2009. That's 14 years. When I first did this, there were not that many networks as they are now. B, I would say networking wasn't something largely embraced by many logistics companies at the time, especially in Asia. I think in Western countries, in Europe, in US, networking was already very welcomed into the business. But at that time, as far as I can recollect, in Asia, it wasn't something logistics companies felt they should do. Same as what I said about technology right now. A lot of companies still don't embrace it, thinking it's not something we should do. So maybe 14 years from now, when both of us are using walking sticks, you can interview me again. And I said this 14 years ago. So right now, 14 years ago, a lot of companies didn't embrace networks. They felt it was a waste of money, waste of time. How can I trust these people? Why should I either go or send my staff there? That was 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012 onwards. Suddenly, people see the importance of being part of a network. So at that time, people were part of one, part of two. But now I've attended networks. I got to know some agents. Some of them are in 22 networks, 22.
Wow.
And you only have 12 months a year. I'm not sure how to attend
Wow.
each and everyone. But coming back, so key factors that differentiate networks.
Yeah, like the
Of course,
successful networks.
First thing on the list is numbers. I think right now out there, you have a handful of players who have more than 2,000 members or more than 1,005. That I'll categorize that as in a different group from the rest, which has maybe 200 to 650 members. So pros and cons as well. Key factors of a medium size, which is the 200 to, I say medium size because I've seen networks with much less members, but medium size like 200 to 650. The benefits is it's more intimate, it's more friendly. During a 3-day conference or 4-day conference, you get to meet everybody. The night events are closed. Basically, in one night, also get to mingle with everybody. That's the benefits. Then of course, that's different from the other group of the handful networks that I shall not name. Those are more. The benefits are you have many members in. If I'm talking too long, please beat me.
No, that's fine, Gerard. Yeah, that's fine.
You get to know members in every nook in this world, even the most unheard of country. If that's possible, you also can find an agent there within a large network. But the cons will be the total opposite of what I just said. You can't meet everybody. Even I give you a file for full 4-day. It's not possible to meet 6,000 people. The night events are so huge that you can't mingle with everybody. Maybe at the most 7-8 tables, so it's more business-like and cold as compared to a medium. So there's no right, no wrong in my book. There's no right, no wrong. It all depends on the direction your company wants to pursue. If you think option A is what you prefer to join and develop, by all means. If you prefer option B, then by all means.
Thank you. I think to conclude that the key factors that differentiate a successful logistics networks is actually from others is actually, I would say, a network, the key of the network is actually gathering people to make them connecting and to drive the result.
I would say if I can only have one factor, just to name one, I would say the owner of the network. Really. Let me give a good example. In fact, let me give a real example without naming it. There are some networks where owner of the network only appears on the opening night. The next morning after the welcome cocktail, the owner would turn up, give a speech, and you never see the owner again, but even until the goodbye event. And whereas there are some networks where you see the owner every day or almost every day, it makes a difference. It makes you feel appreciated, and it shows you how much the owner appreciates and treasures the network. So if I can only name one factor, I would say owner.
That's great. I think so far, just quickly regarding that, is conclude the owner is the key factor of the success, different from the other networks. Because you're saying that, I just want to quickly, you don't have to promote for SGN, okay? But I just want to get your truly feelings and about and me as the owner as SGN when you went to the Vietnam conference. How do you feel? Like how? Just something, anything you want to share with
Before, I've attended conferences since 2009, except for the 2 years of COVID. I attended. My true and honest opinion of SGN, it was a good conference. Everybody enjoyed themselves. for sure, everybody met everybody else who attended the conference. A, because it wasn't very big. B, because everybody really put effort to turn up, to mingle, to talk business, to enjoy a cocktail. For a first conference, I think Signature Global has also done very well in the sense of putting in a lot of effort for the welcome cocktail team, also putting in a lot of effort in the miscellaneous events like the Vietnamese traditional costume. Yeah, I think these are things that are different. And because it is different from other conferences, those who attended, remember, those who follow my social media realize that, hey, it's different. I enjoyed it. To be honest, don't get offended. To be honest, I attended without any expectation because I mean, conference, you know. But based on that, I think if you ask anybody, not just me, who attended, I believe they will say it was an unforgettable experience. I follow you on social media. I follow Signature Global on social media, both on Facebook and LinkedIn. I don't think you're on Threads yet, so yeah. But I noticed whoever you ask about the conference, unforgettable experience is usually
the answer. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing all the true feeling. And guys, as I said about Gerard, that he doesn't lie. He doesn't speak things just because he wants me to be.
I'm not. Yes, again, I'm not saying this because Christy has a gun pointing at me from my window.
No, I can't. Well, okay. The next question I have for you is, how important is collaboration and partnerships in the logistics industry, especially within a global network?
Very important. It's perhaps the most important thing, and perhaps the main priority for anyone joining a network at the time of sign up. Yeah, I say at the time of sign up because that's the reason you sign up. Everything else that happens after you join is just a bonus, making new friends around the world, etc. It's very important because unless you are one of the big boys who have your own offices, your own brand everywhere in the world, like the yellow and red courier company, gonna need it. For example, right now we're doing a lot of, let's say you have a lot of cargo from South America. Ain't no way a forwarder here will have your own offices in South America unless you're one of the big boys. So that's where a key network comes in, who can offer you that coverage, who can offer you that assurance that your shipment will be taken care of, your clients' needs will be taken care of. Otherwise, how else are you going to? I mean, you can easily. I mean, come on, you can ask my best friend, Mr. Google. He'll give you a list of 500 freight forwarders in South America. But what you gonna do? You know what you gonna do? You're gonna write to 50% of them, and even if they reply that, hey, yes, Gerard, we'll work with you. But where do I get the assurance that the shipment will be handled well? My brand name will not be ruined by the handling at that location, and how vice versa, how would that South American, or for that matter anywhere, how would they know that I'm not a scam, especially in this age of scam, you know? I mean, if I just write
very true
cold call or cold email because of what I find on Google, people think it's a scam, and then how?
Thank you. Talking about scammer, I got like 20 missed calls. Yesterday was all scammers, so I blocked them all. So it's crazy. So when your information was disclosed to someone, you just need to be aware. I don't want to pick up any of them.
I get. But it's difficult. I get them as well, and somehow it's always overseas call. But the nature of my work, I cannot avoid any overseas call. Somebody from one of my good buddies from overseas.
Oh wow. Okay, thank you. So just to conclude about the collaboration and partnership is really important in this industry and also in the network. Definitely, I agree as well. Just want to quickly share my conclusion regarding that is, if you join a network and you just join it and without doing anything or collaborating or take a little bit more proactive action, say, hey, how are you? Or didn't do any collaboration or didn't want to build up any partnership, then I would say it's rather you not join, because that's important. Yeah.
Needless to say, maybe after Christy said that, I realized maybe all my answers makes you think all I need to do is sign up, pay the membership fee, and voila. No, it's not like that. I joined, again, to repeat, I joined in 2009. I would say for the first 4 years, nothing developed. Not nothing, but maybe upon 120 things develop, only 20%. In my first 4 years, it was horrible. Luckily, I have thick skin. That's what my wife says. So I continued pursuing. I continued being loud. I continued to make myself noticeable during events, real life events. Fifth year onwards, which would be 21-3, 21-4, like around that time, that's when things really took off. And
Wow.
So, sorry, all I'm trying to say is it's not just so easy.
Correct.
After watching this YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You write to Christy and you tell her, Christy, I want to join, and you expect today you join, tomorrow you get amazing business. No, it doesn't work that way. My personal opinion, at least 2 to 3 years of full effort by you or by your staff. It's not just turn up, like Christy says, it's not just join, not active, hardly say anything, poor responses when people write to you.
That's right.
It's not like that.
Thank you.
Sorry, I did clarify.
No, that's fine, Gerard. And I really thank you for that, because very honestly, we are only on the 2nd year and we have lots of applicants, and we also be approaching quite some potential partners who are not part of the network yet. But we realize that for those who have attitude like, do you have business for me? Or this kind of, companies, we don't really want to keep going, because you feel like, okay, they just want to come and get. If they're joining 20 networks, they come in just to want to get the business, it's actually going to ruin our network, and it doesn't help our network to grow. In the meantime, of course, I got pressure. I actually need to think about, okay, should I get more members in so that they actually can give more business to my existing members? But if they're not the right candidates, actually it's going to ruin the network. So yeah, it's a daily battle for me. Every day I have to say no, or yes or no. I have to think about it before I get anyone on board. And I really appreciate that you are talking from the bottom of my heart that everybody needs to make efforts. It's not that like we are trying so hard as SGN, we connect in the existing members together. In general, all of the members are amazing. I'm just saying, like everyone's making efforts, everyone responding really fast, because they actually really treat this as the family. They really wanted to make things happen, magic happen here. But I'm still saying there can be one of 100, or sometimes there will be companies that are saying, okay, I'm not actually responding, or it will still happen. And that's why as time goes by, you will see SGN will have some members they're actually leaving, which is actually not a bad thing, because we need to keep whoever are willing to be part of this as a long-term, like a true marriage, right? Not just one night. I don't want to say that, it's a bit funny, but it's like you have to really commit to this marriage and relationship. Yeah.
I think it applies to everything in life. You get back the equivalent of the effort you put in.
Yes.
I try to run regularly every morning, but I don't run and expect to still be as fit as if I run.
That's true.
Best example already.
That's true. Thank you. Now the next question I have for you, I have many questions for you, because I really finally can get you here, Gerard. You're always running, flying. You're not available, so.
Just so everyone knows, we made this appointment like 2 months ago. Right? Yeah, we made this appointment like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so the next question I have for you is, what role does sustainability play in the logistics industry, and how can global logistics networks contribute to more sustainable practices?
Such a topic that I feel very strongly about. I think the word sustainability is the most overused, underrated word in the world, because a lot of people like to use this word, but what exactly does it mean? Okay, coming back to what I said, unfortunately, going green and being sustainable is not something logistics is very into. Before my America friends and Europe friends jump on me for saying that, I like to clarify that I meant Asian forwarders. I think in Europe, especially to a certain extent in the US, being sustainable in logistics has been a good practice for since many years ago. I don't know how many years ago. I'm not from there. So kudos to all my friends in Europe and the US. However, in Asia, it's not. It's not. I am proud to say that JGL, my company, practices this, is very supportive of this. We have joined our government initiatives to plant more trees. We have done volunteer work in Going Green. JGL is also a member of Green Freight Asia, which is a Singapore-based collaboration of companies. It's not only logistics companies who have the green mark. All right, we have the green mark. Yeah, we have the green mark.
Very
Last
good.
year in 2022, we also were awarded by CMA CGM Singapore for having the largest booking volume in 2022 in support of their
Green plan.
green. Yes. Some of the shipping lines already are implementing this, whereby you can collect carbon points. I think that's what it's called. And over time, the carbon points can be exchanged for certain things. I think as an Asian, I'm Asian as well, so I think most companies find it troublesome, not worth it, time consuming. But if you Google, actually logistics is one of the key industries ruining the environment. Yeah, we have our trucks running out there. We have our trailers running out there. We have the airplanes. We have the vessels. It's a lot, but shipping lines are doing their part in terms of converting their vessels. Trucking companies in Europe especially are going EV. Singapore, it hasn't happened yet. As far as I know, neither happening anywhere in Southeast Asia. But the good news is the mood is changing. More and more logistics companies that I know in Asia, in ASEAN, are embracing this new initiative, coming on board with JGL to save the earth. You know, save the earth here. This is a funny thing. I get lots of emails that has the auto signature, don't print this out, save the earth, save the trees. But I mean, that's not the only way to go green, to help the earth, to save Mother Earth. That's not the only way. No, we don't just need, we should go out there. That's why last month JGL joined a government initiative to plant more trees in Singapore. I hope more logistics companies come on board. I know it's seen as extra work, but in the end, we got to save the planet for our children, you know.
Thank you so much, Gerard. And that you are not just the only one in our network that's contributing a lot to the grain side. And we have like general transport, and there's so many of them as well, which I'm really proud, because when we started this network, it's called Signature Sign and Nature. We actually wanted to make a difference to this planet as well. And you're right, it's very hard for people who are so focused on their business to do something which is beneficial for others instead of themselves directly. But when we think about life-wise, if we are more thinking for others and selfless, we actually feel happier. If we are too selfish, just think about ourselves instead of outside ourselves, we're actually not that happy. So happiness and selfishness is actually not equal. So they won't exist at the same time. So my opinion,
fully agree.
Yeah, what I agree with you as well is I think many people are just saying, and maybe they only take one step, which is good, better than nothing. But I think I think there are so many ways, especially with the logistics industry and also our network-wise, we have so much ways to do. And I really appreciate that you always doing it, and especially planting trees and things like that. So well done. I really look forward to hear more.
I have to clarify, I wasn't the one. I think I wasn't in town that day that we were given to do this. So I think my GM Johnson and our team, together with our bosses, Daniel and Desmond, they went to plant the trees.
It's amazing.
So unfortunately, it wasn't.
No, but it's great to be part of such an amazing team, right? And I think you definitely be contributing as well for everything with the business, and it's all aligned. I can tell that you're also doing amazing things, like you being supporting the elderly, this kind of thing. We're all trying to make a difference,
Yeah, We all try. Yeah, that's a good one. We all should try to make a difference.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Thank you. Beautiful. I'm not going to keep you too long. There are two more questions I have here for you. One is, what strategies or innovations do you believe are critical for global logistics networks to stay competitive in today's rapidly changing business environment?
Okay. No worries. You're not keeping me too long. I'm happy to do this. For those of you watching this YouTube and still awake at this point, my answer to this question brings me back to the second question where you asked about AI and technology. I think moving forward, in the next 5 to 8 years, or maybe even 3 years, this will be the next big thing in logistics. The last question that we spoke about, going green, being sustainable, I already see big clients have included into their clause that only logistic companies or freight forwarders with a green mark or certificates of being green can partake in their annual tender.
Okay. Wow.
I've seen it. Yeah. So this is something. This will become a new requirement as we go forward. I've already seen a few big companies have this clause when join their tender. So fortunately, we do have. Hence, we could be shortlisted. So going green and being sustainable is the second thing going forward that I think will help you as a logistic company in the short-term future. And lastly, I think partnership is very important. Again, I'm not promoting Signature Global with this answer or promoting any other network. I think be it a large network, small network, medium network, for a freight forwarding company, partnership is important. You don't have to be in 22 networks like some
You mentioned,
that I know.
yeah.
It can be 1, 2, 3, 5, but partnerships is going to be very important moving forward. Times have changed from 20 years ago. It's just the way it is. It's going to be more critical as we go forward because a lot of changes are happening in the world. It's just the way it is. These 3 points, I think, that's my answer.
Thank you for sharing. So to conclude, the 3 answers is AI, going green, and also the partnerships. Well, I completely agree. AI is something we have to look, and I have been learning so much recently. I can talk about AI for probably another 2 hours if we have time, but maybe we should do another interview another time. And talking about going green, it's something that we cannot avoid because the next generations are becoming leaders and we are getting older. You know, the world needs to have someone to pay attention, taking care of the earth and everything, so that the next generations or our grandchildren or great-grandchildren, they will actually have a better place to live. Yeah, and the partnership, it's not innovative, but the partnership is always the key to build up success for any business. Yeah, thank you. The last question I got here, can you share your thoughts on the future of logistics networks and the role they will play in shaping the global supply chain landscape?
I'm going to be brutally honest here. It is my humble opinion. There are too many networks, especially after COVID-19. It feels like, it probably won't, but it feels like the day will come when there's as many networks as there are freight forwarders in the world.
That's crazy.
I just recently got invited by a new network based in Thailand, just created this year. They try to tag themselves as a technology network to differentiate from the competition, meaning other networks. But I mean, first of all, I didn't join or I didn't agree to. Okay, they didn't ask me to join. They invited me to the conference complimentary, but I didn't take it up. A, because my schedule is already very tight. I honestly feel there's too many of them. Too many. I mean, we live in a world of supply and demand. So obviously there must be a supply to substantiate the huge demand. But I think the supply has gone
too
has
far.
gone where no man has gone. Almost every day there's a new network, and because like you said, I'm quite active or famous or something.
You are famous.
Notorious in networking for logistics. So I get these invitations often. Of course, in exchange, I share in my social media or LinkedIn or on my threads. I mean, how are you going to I mean, yeah, okay, you can send different people to different conferences, to different networks, but if there are 2 billion logistic companies in this world, there are only 2 billion logistic companies. Does it make sense to have 200? Does it make sense to have 250,000 networks?
Yeah.
My opinion, and in the end, it comes down to quality. And it comes down to quality of service by the owner and the team, quality of members that you have in your network, quality of your events and conferences, quality of your service level to members. When I say service level, I mean how fast. Good example, your network. And I notice whenever anybody asks in the WhatsApp group for any questions like, do we have a member in Singapore? You or your team replies at almost any time of the day, even though you are in Australia time zone, at any time of the day.
Yeah.
Immediately. Not every, please, long may that continue. And yeah, for
No, that's
Signature
fine.
Global.
That's fine.
Not every network does that. There are networks that when they want you to join, their reply is faster than my reply. But the moment I join, it's a different
That's right.
service
Yeah.
level. So then there are also networks that offer you free membership. First year, I think. First year or first 3 years, I don't recall. But they offer you free membership. But my question, so this comes back to my second finger that I mentioned, quality of members. If it's a free, again, this is my humble opinion, yeah, so there's no right, no wrong. Those listening in, if you're offended, I sincerely apologize. But my humble opinion is, if there is no membership fee, or even if there is, but they just let any Tom, Dick, or Harry join, where is the quality of members? Where is the control? You know, there are networks like that out there. So, and number one, which brings me back to the third question you asked me, when I replied, the key factor is the owner. So, the owner and the team, how deeply invested they are into the network. And for me, most important, is the owner also a freight forwarder? Yeah, because then it becomes a conflict of interest very clearly.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard quite some networks, the owners are the freight forwarders themselves. So, yeah, thank you, Gerard. So, your answers are directing regarding the future of logistic networks, which you already can see there's too many outside there. So, it's important to be really different, and we keep the quality and and service level and everything really in a great way, because time will show, as time goes by, people understand, okay, am I really enjoying this network and so on. But there are also people, we're just chatting here, Gerard, is I found that there are also members or companies that they come in purely just want a business. They don't want to. Yeah, so for this kind of situation, I think it's understandable, but it's also not a long-term investment or plan, because they only want to really get some partners, get some business, and then they just withdraw the membership and they join another one to get another business and just keep going around. They never have a long-term friend or best friend. Yeah.
There's no sincerity to contribute to the network. I think as a member, it's not only about developing business for yourself, but you also, in my opinion, you also have to be a valuable contributor to the network, be it Signature Global. And I think on this point, I hope and I pray that I've been a valuable contributor to your network, because it's not only about developing business in my eye.
Yeah, that's why I appreciate you. And also, most of our members, they're actually quite focusing on building up the connection and partnership. And the last question, which you just touched base, the thoughts about the future of logistics, and the other one which attached to this question is the role they will play in shaping the global supply chain landscape. So right now, I mean, SJ is still quite new, like young. However, our goal is when we get together, we as the biggest family in this globally, like we have everyone, we need brothers and sisters from everywhere in the world. When you call them, when we have a gathering, or when we want to solve some problem, let's say we have a great plan to shape the future of this industry, we can have a meeting together. However, I mean, it doesn't happen that easy right now because everyone's so busy. But I'm saying if the global logistics network like SGN, we actually can get people come together, let's say once a month online call, and we talked about, okay, focus on shaping the future of logistics. We actually take action. So what do you think that the impact, the role that they can play if we do that, That's just an example. Yeah. So make a difference in the supply chain.
What you said is good. It helps touch base. It helps to keep members connected. But sometimes if it's too often a meet or too often a discussion, somebody like me may not be able to commit and attend every time, even though from the bottom of my heart, I would love to. Contrary to what you said, actually, I think one key aspect that a network, let me share with you an example, a real life example of how a network has in the past been pivotal to me and to the other member I worked with for a project shipment. This was 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. So we did a huge project shipment for a client of mine in Singapore. They are a oil and gas. I don't remember the exact numbers, but the final invoice, this is me and a China agent. The final invoice amount from the China agent to me was close to $250,000 US.
Wow.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but something like that. So normally, who agree to work with me? Because how do they trust that I will pay $250,000 US for this shipment? And there was no way I was going to pay $250,000 in advance. Also to the China shipment, because how would I know tomorrow they're no longer there? I'm in Singapore and they're in China.
Yeah.
So if memory serves me correctly, what happened is this network has a financial tool. I will not name that financial tool, or maybe when we go offline, I'll share with you. Because if I name it, everybody would know. We put in that number of $250,000 to the network, to that financial tool, which doesn't have bank charges, if I remember correctly. So what the network did was, the network held on to that money only upon job shipment completed, everything in good order. I give the green light. They were through that financial tool release the funds to the other member. As a member of that network, we all have access to that financial tool. So I think without the network in this example, probably this shipment would have been much more difficult, or maybe not even happen back then.
Thank you. So it's a great example to talking about small things can make huge difference. When they happened, you probably don't realize that the importance of a network, but when it's something happening, you realize, wow, actually it can make a difference. Yeah.
Sadly, that's human nature. A lot of people don't realize until it happens to them.
Yeah, and they don't trust either. I think that's Thank you so much, Gerard. Thank you for coming and spend your precious time with us and the audience as well. So we really appreciate you, and we look forward to having you another time this year, hopefully, or if not, I'm definitely going to interview again through our next conference. And you are going, which I know, maybe say hi to those who haven't registered. I think it's a great chance for you to call them.
Quickly register.
Thank you, Gerard. Have a nice one.
Join us today and become an integral part of the Signature Global Network, where collaboration, growth, and global opportunities await your logistics company. Together, we can drive innovation, expand market reach, and create a powerful network that transforms the logistics industry. If you like our content and videos, please remember to subscribe so that you will receive all first-hand information. Disclaimer: